So for the left side, when we open up the book, here on the left side, I have 2 pieces that I've cut. I have one that I cut 5" by 7. 7 is the height of the pages that we want. So take this 5" side and you score at a 1/2 inch. And fold and burnish to create a flap. And then I want a top flap. So this one is 4 1/2, cut 4 1/2 by 7, and we're going to score the 7" side at a 1/2 inch. And burnish that. So then grab the book, and we're going to put the side one on first, and we want to line it up just 1/16 off the edge here, and line it up with this piece that we've attached down. So grab the glue. You can use score tape if you want, and I would use 3/8 inch score tape. But we're using score tape for this hinge. So put your glue on, and again, let's line it up so that the bottom is with this piece here that we put in, and about 1/16 of an inch off the edge here. Wipe off your glue. We're going to burnish this. Open it up and burnish. I'll wipe off this glue that's coming out. Okay, so with that open, go ahead and wipe this glue out right in here. Okay, with this opened up, we're going to take the flap that has the shorter hinge up here on the top, and we're going to line this up. And you want it to just slightly off that hinge. You don't want it over the hinge of the other flap. So go ahead and put your glue on. And we're going to line this up. And it should be straight here along the bottom. So one flap like that and one like that. And I will put a magnet that'll close it. So we'll do that in a little bit. So the next one we're going to work on is here on the center. For the center section, I cut for the top and bottom flaps. We have 2 that are cut at 5 1/2 by 6. We're going to score the 6" side at a 1/2 inch and at 1 inch. 1/2 inch and 1. So do this, both of these the same. Put the 6" in, score at 1/2 inch and at 1 inch. So those are going to be the top and bottom flaps, the center section. Then you cut 2 that are 7 inches tall by 6 inches wide, and we're going to score the 6" side at a 1/2 inch and at 3/4. That gives us a 1/4 inch gusset. Do the both the same. 6" side in there, score at 1/2 inch, oops, and at 3/4. Then go ahead and fold and burnish. You'll have 1/4 inch gusset here on these side ones, and you will have a 1/2 inch gusset on the top ones. So grab the book, and this is going to go in right here in the center. So we're going to do the top and bottom flaps first. So I fold so that I just see the first 1/2 inch hinge right here. And this is going to glue down in between these 2 center spaces. So you want to make sure you line it up here at the top with the cut edge of these spine covers. So get the glue on it. And just going to line it up with the top edge there, and you want to make sure that it stays within these sections, the folds of the cover. And we're going to open it up and burnish. Make sure I get the glue off of it. So that's the top one. I'm going to close it down so I can line up my second one with it. Same thing. Fold it so that you only see the first ½ inch section, and put your glue on. I'm going to attach that down here at the bottom, line it up. Again with the paper, make sure it lines up with the top flap. Open it up and burnish. And then when you refold your gussets, it will sit like that. Okay. I have a pencil mark here that I marked. I just need to erase that. Okay. So that's like that. So now we open these up, and our side pieces. This one. Oh, here they are. They have just the 1/4 inch gusset, and you're going to have one here on each side. And they will overlap. So I'm going to do the left one first. I'm going to flatten it down again so I just see the ½ inch hinge. And I'm going to put it on the left side, make sure that it goes on the inside of my ½ inch space here on each one of these, and then also along the edge of the fold of the cover here. So let's see here. That's going to open it up like that. So when it reopens, you're going to have a little 1/4 inch gusset standing up. So I'm going to open this up, flatten the second one down, same way. Put your glue on. And it's going to attach right up to that ½ inch and right there on the edge. So it should fit to the inside of your 1/4 inch on your left flap. And all this will be covered with paper. So these fold in after you get your 1/4 inch gusset reset up. And this goes down like this. So I will have a magnet here to hold this in place. Okay. Now then, let's do some pages here in this spine section. I'm going to put a page right here in this spine section on the left. So I have cut one that is 6 inches wide, 7 inches tall, and you score it at ½ inch and 1. So this is the top page. And then you cut one that is 7 inches tall by 5 1/4 and just score at a ½ inch. Then you're going to fold this one under, fold your 2 hinges back, and take this one, so this will be the top with the hinges to the left folded under. Burnish this one. Grab your glue, put glue on the hinge, place this along the cut edge on the right side. So you should have about a 1/4 inch space from the end to the fold. Go ahead and open that up and burnish it. Okay, we're ready to put it into the spine. So you take your book and you're going to fold your spine, your hinge, so that it is just the 1/2 inch showing. Go ahead and put the glue on. I've already had glue on it once, so just turn that over. And we're going to line this up with the bottom edge of the spine cover paper right along the fold of the album. Make sure it's not in it. You want to make sure it is lined up straight. And then open it up and burnish that down. And when you fold it back up and stand up that 1/2 inch, you're going to have a 1/2 inch gusset standing up. So we're going to go ahead and put probably a small magnet right there. So that's the page for that. And then double check and make sure that the page is within the cover, so from side to side. Okay, we'll do the next one. For the spine here on the right side, we're going to do the same size page. So we have one that is cut 7 inches long by 6, and we scored at a 1/2 inch and at 1. And then the flap with that is going to be also 7 inches long, and we're going to cut it 5 1/4 wide and score at a 1/2 inch on the 5 1/4 inch side. Now this is going to go ahead and fold and burnish these really well. Now this one's going to go in the right side over here, but we want the hinge to go this way. So it's going to open like that, and we can put it to the right edge, just like this other one, so there'll be a space in there. Which means, with this folded down, I want my flap to be on the opposite side here. So, move this out of the way. So, fold your hinge down on the right side. You've got your cut edge here. Take the fold, take your hinge here, apply your glue, and you're going to put it on the left side with the hinge folded down along the cut line. So make sure you line it up. And again, you're going to have a 1/4 inch here. This is like a mirror page. You've got the one here, you've got the center, and then you've got this one here. So now we're going to flatten this so just the 1/2 inch shows right there. Put your glue. And we're going to line this up there, top and bottom. And if you get it lined up along the edge of this, and with this and this at the top, it should be good shape. So when it straightens up, burnish that in there. Then we have that gusset there, we have a gusset over here, and then we have the gussets inside. Just like that. So we'll also probably put a magnet here and here. And then when this closes up, well, we probably can't put a magnet there, they've got to be free. So this will fold in like this, and like that, I had to go ahead and see what it would be like to add 2 extra pages in the spine with the first page that we have the flap on. So I cut 2 more exactly like it without a flap. So these are, I have 2 for the right side. So I'm going to show you what I did. I cut 4 that are 6 inches wide by 7 inches tall, 2 for the left and 2 for the right. And then you put the 6-inch side in and you score at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch on all 4, 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Then you go ahead and burnish, fold and burnish your score lines. What this does is give us a 1/2 inch hinge with a 1/2 inch gusset, plus we have a 1/2 inch gusset in the book. So I'll show you that in just a second. Go ahead and burnish these. These are for the right side. So let me see if you can see what I did. So I flipped back. This is the one that we had already had in with the flap on it. So you open that back. Then I put the hinge, butted up right up against the hinge of this one, and then the hinge of this one right up against this one. And so now we have them with the stand-up gussets and a 1/2 inch in between each one. Like that. So that's kind of like how it looks. Oops. Right there. Okay, so we're going to do this side the same way. So you're going to flip this back. This. And we're going to take one, and you're going to flatten it so that you only see the 1/2 inch. And we want the hinges to go towards the inside, so this is going to attach right there. So I'll put the glue on. I should have shown you how I did the left side, but I wasn't sure if it was going to work. It was just kind of an experiment, and I might have had to take it out. So you want this fold right up against the hinge of the first one that's down. And then you flip it back. So you have the cut right there. I know it's hard to see, and you need to make sure they're lined up. Black on black is hard. Okay, right there. I want them straight. That should line up. Okay. Then you take the third one, fold it so that you have just the hinge showing. And you put the fold of the hinge right here along that cut edge of the hinge of the last one. And just make sure you line up your pages right here from top to bottom and burnish that in. So you have 1, 2, 3 on the right. The top one has a flap. We have 1, 2, and 3 on the left. Okay, so that's the pages, and then when it closes up, you're going to want to make sure one set goes down first. This would be the top page, and then bring it in like that. So that's how it looks in there. We got room for pockets and things inside. Okay, so we shall continue. So I'm ready to put a magnet on this center flat part. So I have 2 together, and I'm going to put one at the top on the inside of the top flap. Drop it down about 3/4. of an inch. Yeah, that should hit just fine. Take this off. Now you're going to make sure that they're squared up. You want this perpendicular, this bottom piece here. Make sure that it squares up here. And then this one squares up at the top to line them up side to side. Okay, press it down and separate. And go ahead and cover those with some tape. Okay, so that closes up. These flaps are not going to have magnets, so they're just going to be like this. There's that right there. And I haven't decided on where I want pockets. I do want a magnet here. Okay, so I've ran out of the big magnet snaps, so I'm going to use the small ones. You can also get these from Country Craft Creations. I think they should work just fine. So I'm going to put one here on this first inside flap, right about there, and peel this off. And I think you can put it on the top of this next flap. I'm going to go ahead and try and put it here and see how that does. Yeah, I think that'll hold fine. Should hold fine through the pattern paper, hopefully. So I'm going to put some tape on these guys. Flap down, and then this one down over it. And then, of course, this one's going to need a flap here. So I'm going to open this up and put one set on. And again, I think these will hold it just fine with just one in the center, so I'm going to put it down right here and then peel this off. Make sure they line up. Whoops, that one didn't want to catch. Doesn't have enough sticky, so I'm going to have to put some tape over it. Make sure that this is, you're standing up, gusset is standing up correctly. And line up the top and bottom. Magnets are really strong. There we go. So we got that one. And we'll put tape on this one. Okay. So I am not putting any on the pages. And we've already got this one on. Did have a big one for that. And so we don't have a flap here. We're leaving that to grab the other. But we're going to need one right here. That's standing up and lined up. Okay. And some tape. Now I haven't decided on any pockets yet. I think I'll start putting pattern paper on and maybe decide all that as I go. So put that together. And just lift it up and close it. Okay. So I'm making a pocket for this centerpiece. This is a scrap of paper that I cut 3 inches by 6.5, scored the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch on each end, and I'm putting glue across the bottom edge. I'm sorry, my camera did cut off and I didn't catch it. I'm making these pockets here. So you're going to line this up right here. Make sure it's flush on the bottom and even on the edges, and then burnish the pocket down. And then you'll have the pocket here. This is on the top flap of the inside section of the book. Also, when my camera turned off, I made a pocket for this front, on the inside, the front of this flap on the left. It's made the same way. I cut it from scrap, and it was cut at 5.5, sorry, by 5. So the height is 5 inches. And the pocket was actually 5.5, scored at 1/2 inch on the 5.5 side on each end. So then you score and attach it the same way this last pocket I just showed you. So we have a pocket here. And I'm just flipping through these pages. And I'm not sure where I want to put different pockets, if I want extra pockets or not. I have this one here. Let's open this up and take a look. And then we have this in here and this in here. So I'm thinking a pocket right in here. So I'm grabbing, and I want it a little bit taller. So this is a good piece. This is 5 inches tall. And this section here is 5.5. So we're going to need this to be 6.5 as well. So 6.5 by 5. And you can make as many pockets and put them in different places as you want. So let me move this out of the way. It's already 5 inches tall, and I'm going to cut it down to 6.5. And then I'm going to score the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch and 6. And that will give me a 1/2 inch on each side. Burnish. Glue on the hinges. And glue across just one bottom edge. And then we're going to attach it down in. Make sure it does not go over the score lines of your book. The bottom, you want to make sure you still leave the 1/2 inch here and 1/4 inch on each side. So just sliding it to make sure. And then burnish it in. Okay, so now we have a pocket here in the center. A good size photo can go there. I'm going to close that up. And I'm wondering if I want another pocket maybe. So let's see what else we've got. I'm looking for a not so tall piece. See if this is the right length. So this one can be cut down to 6.5. And it's going to be 3.5 inches tall. Wide. Score your 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch and at 6. Go ahead and burnish the folds toward each other. Put glue on the hinges. across one bottom edge. And then attach it down, line it up right on top of the one that we just put in. So it should fit. You got it scored right. Slide it down just a tad. There you go. Okay, there's that. Okay. Okay, so I have already patterned the outside of my book. I use the print with the music notes that is on the Floral Symphony, tongue tied there, and then I use the stripe from the Prints and Solids on the back. So I decided to add pocket sleeves to all of my 6 pages, my regular pages. So check your scraps. You may already have some that are already 5 inches wide. So you need 6 that are 5 inches by 8 inches long. And then you're going to score the 8-inch side at a 1/2 inch on the left and at 7.5 on the right. And then you're going to fold and burnish them the same direction on all 6 and get them ready to go into the album. So these are pocket sleeves where we can slide some tags in on that. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video here for this segment. I'm going to burnish all 6 of these sleeves and get them ready. Okay, so we have all of these burnished and ready to go into the album. I'm going to move this out of the way. These are the pages that fold from the right and the left. So like this first one, don't put it on the side where the flap is. So open this back like this, and these are going to fit with the fold at the top and the bottom, like that. You're going to seal this bottom piece. We're going to leave it open to the outer edge. So I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on this, on each 1/2 inch hinge. And then I'm going to go ahead and run a line of glue on just this one bottom edge. And then we're going to place this so that this is flush with the outer edge, and then also lined up on the bottom edge. The fold goes along the bottom edge of the page. And yes, these would have been easier to do outside of the book, but sometimes you change your plans, and that's got to be a little flexible with adding things in after the fact. So just make sure that it really gets burnished, though. You don't want it popping loose. Right there. I may have to put a little more glue in there. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Then we'll keep going on with all the rest of them. Now the page is just a single page. This can go on the front or the inside. It really doesn't matter. It's going to be easier to do it here on the inside, though, so we can flatten it down. So all 6 of these will be put in the same. And I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up on the video. Pay attention that you're putting the glue to the correct direction. So I should have turned this over. I needed my glue on the inside here. I hope I've done that right on the others. I'm going to have to check. Okay, so add more glue and get back on track with putting this into the right spot. Because we want it to open on the outer side, the outer edge, not towards the spine. There we go. And double check these, make sure they're all opening correct. Yes. So I got them all right. So flip this back and then go ahead and do the rest. Okay, so we have them all in, and now we're definitely ready to start doing the pattern paper. And I will be cutting mine and patterning off camera, and then I will show you what I've done before I do any more decorating.